this load we're hauling a Cat 312 DL. We're taking this from Columbus, Ohio over to Ashburn, Virginia. Alright, hey everybody. We are headed north on 71 just south of Columbus, Ohio. We are picking up what they say is a little excavator. Picking it up here in Columbus, and then we are taking it over to a job site in Leesburg, Virginia. So hopefully they're ready for us here, and it'll be an easy pickup. And then we should be able to get most of the way back across West Virginia and Maryland, and hopefully down towards Winchester, Virginia tonight. And then we'll be close to deliver in the morning. And we actually have another load lined up coming out of the port in Baltimore, going up to Endicott, New York, which is just across the Pennsylvania state line on 81, I believe. Hopefully they all go together, and hopefully they all go well. Alright, I think this is us on the right. Like it's a big old lot back here, so it shouldn't be too hard. I can get in the entrance. Oh yeah. That's ours right there. It's a little excavator. We'll go talk to this gentleman and see if this is what we're getting. Alright, looks like that is our piece right there. So I'm going to get broken down and we will get it loaded up. Alright, just talked to the broker. He said go ahead and load it. They're going to throw another couple $100 on it for permits, so we'll go ahead and get this thing loaded up. So I'll show you what we're hauling here. There's a Cat 312, and then we've got a couple pieces of pipe and a little rack over there. So now we have to get this all chained down and ready to go. Alright, so that's the excavator tied down. Now we got to do something with these pipes and that rack. So I think I'm going to I'm going to take a strap, I'm going to wrap it through, and then maybe go under and over on that rack over there. Slide it this way and feed it down that way, and then I'll do another strap down here. So let's do that. my little detour. They're doing construction on I-70 West, so you're not allowed to go west with a permitted load, well, an oversized load, through Zanesville on 70. So you have to take a detour down 13, and you're supposed to hit 22 east. There's a little roundabout there where 13 and 22 meet. So you're supposed to take 22 east. I, like an idiot, just kept right on trucking, right on 13. So had to go about, I think it was 6 or 7 miles down 13 before I could find a spot where I could spin around, come back up to 13 and hit 22 like I was, or come back up and hit 22 like I was supposed to do. And then you come up 22, the south side of Zanesville, and hit 70 just east of Zanesville there. So that was my little detour, and then we are here in Belmont, Ohio. I'm stopping to get fuel at the Pilot here. So because of all that, and because it's a permitted load and not a legal load, we're not going to get as far as I would have hoped tonight. So we'll get to Morgantown, West Virginia. We're going to stay at an Econo Lodge there. I've never stayed there before, so we'll see what that's like. But there's very few places to stay going across 68. There is a truck stop, a Pilot in Cumberland, that sits right next to a sleep inn that I have stayed at before, but I'm sorry, it's not a Pilot, it's a Love's. And with Love's, they don't do any reserved parking, so there's no guarantee that there will be a spot when I get there, and it would be, I don't know, 7 or 7:30, and I don't want to take a chance of getting there and there not being a spot, and then you're just kind of screwed. So we're going to stop in Morgantown. We have that reserved, but first we got to get some fuel. All right, we are all fueled up. Got myself a little snack, something to drink. Now we'll see if we can get out of here. I don't know if you guys can see these idiots. They pull in and block the entrance, so it makes it hard to get out. But try to get out of here. Yeah, dummy, I gotta come out. This guy, he'll come out right in front of me. I guess you don't have to be a rocket scientist to drive a truck, but some intelligence would be good. Alright, there we go. This week has been, seems like I've been behind the entire week. We started the week by delivering up to Allentown, and then there was nothing out of Allentown, so we just deadheaded back home, which is only about 90 miles. And then we got ourselves set up on a run to Toledo, Ohio on Tuesday morning. Well, we went to pick that load up, and it was a wheel loader, 41,000 pounds, which means it's a permanent load for weight for us because we're about 46 empty. And we get there, and they said, "Are you taking all 3 pieces?" I said, "Well, I can only take 1 piece because if you permit for weight, it has to be non-divisible." So they wanted me to take the machine and then 2 attachments, a bucket and something else, probably forks or something. And I said, "Look, I can take the machine, I can't take anything else." So they canceled that load on me. You know, and the broker didn't say anything about it being more than 1 piece. So luckily I wasn't far from home. Went home, and then we're looking at the board. We finally found a load out of McConnellsburg, which is about an hour away from my house, down to West Virginia, but we didn't get started until about 1 o'clock. So it seems like in trucking, if you start late in the week like that, you're just behind the whole time. You never make time up. The only thing you do is lose more time. So that's where we're at now. We'll deliver this load in the morning, but later than we expected to. So then we have to get up to the port in Baltimore and pick up another load that's going up to Endicott, New York, which as long as we can get to the port and get loaded tomorrow, I can take it home. It's on the way. Take it home, then I can get up early Friday morning and head up to New York and just turn around and come back after that. We'll still get everything done. It's just a little later than I expected it to be. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So just about done. The Econo Lodge is a left here and then a right. I'll head up there and get checked in. A little earlier than I would have liked, but this will give me an opportunity to get a little exercise in. I'll go for a run tonight. That's one thing that I find extremely important, is you have to take care of yourself. This is I know it doesn't seem like you do a whole lot, you know, sitting in a truck driving all day, but it's draining mentally and physically, because I feel like you're in a heightened state all day. You know, you're watching everything around you. You're watching other drivers. You're trying to figure out where to go and anticipate people. So it does tax you, and I find that if I don't do some kind of exercise 3 or 4 times a week, it really drains. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to get a run in, get a good night's sleep, and get back up and attack it again in the morning. right, so that's going to do it for tonight. We'll get up in the morning. I'll have to leave at sunrise. We'll roll out a little bit before, but we'll get over to Ashburn, get this delivered, and then I will head up to the port and get the next one. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. As you can see, we got the truck fired up. It's warming up. Sun is coming up in a few minutes, so we can get our journey started for today. We got to head over to Ashburn, Virginia, and deliver this excavator, and then I will head up to Baltimore. So come on, let's go for a ride.
As we pull into the job site here, let me just explain what happened. This job site was just utter chaos. There were trucks and people going everywhere. The guys that were unloading this, I guess they didn't come in before I got there. I guess they were waiting for me to show up at the job site. So they didn't know that they were paving the road where they were going to unload this excavator. I actually got into it with the foreman of the crew that was unloading it, because they used the excavator to unload that pipe on the trailer. And the first thing the guy did was pick up the bucket and put it into the neck of my trailer. So I kind of went off on him. But I have learned in a job site like that, if you don't want your equipment damaged or you see something happening that you don't like, you had better speak up and do it quick, or your equipment will be damaged. So with all that going on, I didn't actually record any of it. I just wanted to keep my equipment from getting damaged and get the thing unloaded and get out of there. With that being said, I think this is where the video is going to end. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe below, and I do appreciate it.